G'day everybody, here comes a lesson for Kiwi by Harry Styles. This song has a great groove right throughout. There's a bunch of hits that we need to catch, but I'm sure if you're already familiar with the song, then it's going to fall into place really easily. So let's get straight on the kit and check it out. This song has a really great swing to it, and so I have written it in triplets. It might be a little bit messier, but I think you'll be able to follow along if you use what I play and then try and line up with the transcription as well. When the song first starts, it's just vocals, but we're going to catch a couple of hits in each of the bars, so it goes like this. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Then we build up on the snare drum using a little triplet combination that goes like this. Then we grab those hits from the very beginning again, and then the next time that we have a triplet build up, we're just going to play all the triplets on the snare drum. That takes us straight into our chorus, which is up on the crash cymbal. The beat is fairly simple, but the swing is still really strong there, and we do have a couple of fills at the end of each 4 bars. The next fill in that chorus goes like this. For the next fill, we basically use the first fill again, but I can hear a couple of extra accents on the crash cymbal, so I have written them in, but it's totally up to you whether you include those or not. It would sound something like this. The end of that chorus, the crash cymbal drops out, and it sounds to me like we're down on the floor tom with our snare drum. Then we build things up, playing triplets on the snare drum, and come off on beat 1, which is really similar to our intro. The first part of this verse is just the same as the beginning, but when we build up on the triplets, we're going to straighten out in the second bar and play straight 8s instead of swung 8s. It makes everything feel like it's slowing down. We're still in the same tempo, but we've just kind of changed the subdivision. It will sound like this. If you haven't done that before, I would definitely recommend just practicing 8th notes going into 8th note triplets and counting 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and R2 and R3 and R4 and R. That way you'll be able to get that change nice and smooth and you'll be able to nail that part of the song. When we go into the second part of this verse, we're playing now over on the hi-hats, and it's a pretty basic beat that goes like this. The last time through that beat before we go into the chorus, we change again and we're going to catch some hits on the snare drum with the kick drums playing quarter notes underneath. Back into our chorus once again, so that's up on the crash cymbal, and we use just the same fills as the first time through, except for the very last fill, which is just kind of a slight modification because we're going to add a flam on the snare drum and move down on the toms. From that fill, we go into the bridge, which is a fantastic halftime groove that sounds like this. The second part of the bridge, we just break down just the kicks playing this pattern. Then the guitar comes in with a screeching riff and we just hold off for a bar, but then when we come in, I'm pretty sure we don't hit snare drum on beat 2, because that just kind of helps to ramp that whole riff thing up. So we're going to bring the snare in on beat 4, but other than that, it's a pretty straightforward beat, just like this. For the end of the song, we bring back the hits that we used at the end of the second verse, and I'm just going to try and build things up a lot. So we're going to have quarter notes on the kick drum and the hi-hats, and then we're going to grab those hits on the floor tom and snare drum, so it will sound like this. The last time through that rhythm, we're just going to fill out around the kit using some triplets, then we're going to break for a second, and the very last hit of the song is on beat 4. And there we go, that is How You Play Kiwi by Harry Styles. A great swinging rock vibe right throughout that song, with a couple of cool fills that you definitely want to check out as well. Happy practicing, guys. I'll see you at the next lesson.